All right, it's great to have you join us. This is 32 FM 94.9. It's the morning of the 23rd of May 2024. It's time to take you through the major headlines coming out of the newspapers this morning. I'm Kenny Durutilu.
And I'm DENIKE Ademuagun. Good morning, and it's great to have you join us. We have the front page of The Punch, The Vanguard, The Premium Times. I'll be starting off with The Punch newspaper this morning. Our first story says electricity subsidy gulps 629 billion naira as discos generate 1.1 trillion naira. BDC agents reject new CBN licensing guidelines. Tinubu replaces Bill as FRSC boss, appoints Mohammed. Minimum wage, Labour wants 497,000 naira. Federal government laments paucity of funds. To the major story on The Punch, first anniversary, Tinubu directs 47 ministers to showcase scorecards. President plans low-key celebrations, and that also minister begins sectoral briefings today. Away from that one, federal government canvasses regional military force to counter coup threats. Reps want seized property converted to government offices. Guest dies during Lagos birthday celebration. Host held. That's on the red corner of The Punch. And finally, Forex. 200 BDC operators arrested. EFCC alleges fraud.
All right, from the Premium Times, you find these headlines. Court grants Abba Kyari bail. Elsewhere, Tinubu orders low-key celebration of first anniversary. Police Abuja administration not consulted before Army shut down Banex Plaza. Insecurity, Kebbi governor gives Army 500 million naira monthly for operations. Senator. Also, Tinubu inaugurates 8 billion naira substation. Ondo communities reconnected to grid after 14 years. Correctional centers in Lagos overstretched by 104%. Justice Commissioner. Hashtag Rivers Investment Summit, what we're doing to revive Rivers economy. Fubara. Reps change strategy on security motions to send resolutions to NSA. Tinubu's administration supports local government autonomy. SGF says there. Elsewhere, Edo poll, Jonathan Atiku Sambo to serve in PDP campaign council. And lastly, American charged with $1.2 million fraud in Nigeria gets judgment date.
Headlines from the Vanguard paper. Minimum wage talks. Labour cuts demand to 497,000 naira. Federal government, OPS, offer 57,000 naira. Yesterday's talks end in stalemate. Uzodinma attends briefly as other governors shun minimum wage talks. Away from that one, Edo Guba, Bishop Omede to lead LP's campaign council for Akpata. Obaseki signs 404 billion naira revised 2024 budget into law. EFCC, NBA move to tackle lawyers aiding criminals to launder illicit funds. Solution to bad governance in Africa is more democracy. That's according to the President, Tinubu. Currency crisis, UK varsity sends Nigerians packing. Reps query contractors over abandoned projects after 85%. Shetima, Kadoso, Oye, others discuss Nigeria's economy today. And finally, reform policies have attracted FDI, reduced inflation, federal government.
All right, we take some headlines out of the nation now. Banditry, DHQ tackles Governor Rada. How 386 were rescued from Sambisa. It's another piece there from the nation this morning. Government, Labour shift grounds in minimum wage talks. Tinubu in support of autonomy for councils, says Akume. Forex crisis, BDCs to recapitalize, reapply in CBN reform plan. More headlines out of the nation newspaper. Government, IITA, World Bank to partner on innovative agri practices. Lagos attracted over 50 billion naira investment in 1 year, says Commissioner. Awujale's leadership style worthy of emulation is another piece there from The Nation. You might want to check that one out from that paper. 17 months after, police rescued 2 abducted daughters of Zamfara lawmaker. One of abducted Abia children found. President appoints new heads for Nostra, OORBDA. Inspector killed, 5 others injured in Plateau clash. Tinubu to attend inauguration of Debbie as Chad's president. And lastly, from The Nation this morning, NDDC donates food items worth millions of naira to Rivers community.
All right, so the Guardian paper, from 9 billion naira in 2006, abandoned National Library to cost over 200 billion naira, 18-year construction work. Away from that, CBN reduces duty FX rate 8th time in May as naira trades above 1,500 to $1. Lagos correctional centers overstretched by 104%, government says. INEC knocks Sheikh's liking council poll to coronation of candidate. First year in office, federal government eyes low-key ceremony gives Tinubu pass mark. Nigeria's gemstones export hits $15.2 million, securing 30th place globally. 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒 gets bail after 27 months in detention. Tinubu Obasanjo seek regional integration to deepen democracy. Federal government says negotiation is for minimum wage, not living wage. Offers 57,000 naira. And that's it from the Guardian newspaper.
All right, take some headlines from the Daily Trust now. Court grants 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒 bail over mother's death. That's a major one there from the Daily Trust this morning. CBN asks BDC operators to apply for new licenses. Policeman shot dead by colleague in Lagos. Other stories. Let our local councils breathe. How communities can fight prevalence of illicit drugs is another one. Naira devaluation. A Nigerian student in UK university forced to discontinue return home. BOI disperses 496 billion naira to MSMEs, creates 2 million jobs. All right, a couple more from the Daily Trust this morning. ECOWAS Parliament members visit Kano schools for sensitization. Abandoned farm settlements, hideout for bandits, kidnappers, for NAB VC. Also, FIME youths believe the older generation has failed them. Their voices must be heard. And lastly, from the Daily Trust this morning, Cross River Speaker impeached. Some of the headlines out of the papers this morning. We'll take a commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll be delving into the analysis.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Golden Chance Lotto. Shey you dey gbadun games? Shey you dey play Lotto? Shey you go like to play Lotto without stressing? You no go kiosks. You fit no even play online. Make you no worry for data. Golden Chance Lotto dey here for you. Make you dial *7005# with your MTN line for any phone to play and win big. You fit even check games results and you go collect wetin you win with the USSD. Play any of Golden Chance Lotto indoor games and international games. No forget, our indoor games dey easy to win. Golden Chance Lotto don't give you a better way to become a millionaire. No forget, *7005#. Golden Chance Lotto, your surest way to become a millionaire.
Take my pikin.
Mama, you no put milk.
E no need milk. Taste am make you see.
How you do am?
E dey milky.
Well.
E dey creamy.
Yes o.
Na Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy be that for you. E dey milky I no need add more milk.
I love am, Mama.
Make you give your pikin the new Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy. E dey milky well and e get calcium to help your champion to dey win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
Ọmọ mi ti pọ̀ṣù mẹ́fà, ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́. Oṣù mẹ́fà, ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́. Ó ti ti yá pọ́ṣù mẹ́fà nìyẹn. Ọmọ ò máa ń pẹ́ dàgbà o. Báyìí o, ọmọ rẹ ti wá nílò ju omi ọyàn nìkan lọ o. Àkókò ti tó láti máa fún un ní oúnjẹ fífọ́. Ní àfikún sí ọyàn, rí i dájú pé àwọn oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ ní ó kéré tán ọ̀kan lára àwọn oúnjẹ àfọ́pọ̀ márùn-ún wọ̀nyí: ẹyin, ẹja tàbí ẹran, èso àti ewébẹ̀, epo tàbí òróró, ẹ̀wà, ẹ̀pà tàbí sóyà, ìrẹsì, ọ̀dùnkún, àgbàdo tàbí iṣu. Ọmọ rẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti oṣù mẹ́fà nílò omi ọyàn àtàwọn oúnjẹ wọ̀nyí fún ìdàgbàsókè àti ìlera. Máa fún wọn lọ́yàn títí yóò fi pé ọmọ ọdún 2 àti jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ INT'L, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
See how I'm using 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐒 to look at you as you keep pressing *321# on your phone. Is it not credit that you want to borrow from Glow?
Yes, now. What happened? Has the code changed?
Where have you been, girl? *303# is the new code to borrow credit and data on Glow.
So the code is no longer *321#, but *303#?
Confirmento. Voila! It worked, oh! Before Uncle, *303#, not before show. But, guy, I hope so the data where you borrow go reach me and you.
Dial *303# to borrow credit and data on Glow and pay later. *303#. New code. Same great ease.
Glow Unlimited.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy.
To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the INT'L Project or your State Ministry of Health.
Hey baby, before I forget, I'll be traveling on the 25th of this month. I have an emergency conference. Please help me arrange.
Come in. Daddy, Mommy, as the firstborn of this family, I would like to call a quick meeting.
We are all ears, my baby girl. What do you want?
Children's Day is approaching.
Yes.
And you know that every year we attend 32 FM, Smart Kids, and Parents Hangout at Park Mall, Ibadan. This year, this event will be even more interesting because I get to showcase my musical talent to the world.
Tommy, so where are you going with all this?
I overheard that saying he was traveling on the 25th of May.
My sweet baby, I wouldn't want to miss hanging out with you and your brother and mommy for anything in the world. We shall all be there.
Aww, I love you both.
Smart kids, smart mommies and daddies. Saturday the 25th of May will be a day to remember as the Smart Kids and Parents Hangout will be happening live at Palms Mall, Ring Road, Ibadan. Get ready for a really amazing time, and this year is filled with games, goodies, and lots of fun. We shall also be spotlighting our super talented kids. If you can sing, dance, paint, or draw, contact Auntie Sumbo on 0704-017491 for more details. For tickets, sponsorship, and inquiries, contact Auntie Sumbo on 0704-0174981 or Oyi on 0813-125-1915. You can also visit 32 FM at the 4th floor, Cocoa House, Dugbe, Ibadan. Ticket is 3,000 naira only. The Smart Kids and Parents Hangout 6.0 promises to be fun. See you there.
Hey folks, ready to take your smartphone experience to the next level? Introducing the 𝐷ENIKE and Power 6 series, 2 amazing smartphones that redefine innovation. With the 𝐷ENIKE, capture every moment in stunning detail with its advanced Sony sensor camera. Say goodbye to blurry photos and hello to crystal clear images. And for all the gamers, engage yourself in an immersive gaming experience with the 𝐷ENIKE Power 6 series, featuring super sensory gaming technology and a 70 watts ultra charge. Every game comes to life and you get to play for much longer. Visit an authorized Techno store to get any 𝐷ENIKE or 𝐷ENIKE Power 6 series today and experience innovation right in your hands. Techno, stop at nothing.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí aláboyún, ó ṣe pàtàkì kí n tọ́jú ara mi kí n sì wà ní ìlera pípé.
Kí ìwọ àtoyún inú ẹ lè wà ní ìlera tó péye. Máa lo oògùn ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ní áyọ̀nù nínú àti folic acid lójoojúmọ́ lákòókò tó bá lóyún. Eléyìí ń dènà àìtó ẹ̀jẹ̀ nínú oyún, yóò sì jẹ́ kóyún wà lálàáfíà. Fún ìlera pípé, ẹ máa yọjú sí àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ elétò ìlera yín fún ìtọ́jú oyún nígbà tó yẹ. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ INT'L, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
32 FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter. It's time to dive into the analysis on the Break It Down Papers review this morning. I am DENIKE Adimuwago.
And I'm Kenny. Professor 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐒 joins us this morning on the Papers Review. Good morning, sir.
Well, top of the day to you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, Prof, we start off with this information that was passed yesterday by Mohammed Idris, the Minister of Information and National Orientation. And he's saying that in commemoration of the first anniversary in office of the president has directed his ministers to present their performance report to Nigerians. And he's also saying that the celebration will be low-key, and this is how the president intends to mark the occasion by sectoral briefing of the 47 ministers federal ministers starting today. And also there was a discussion or an announcement in November 1, 2023, where the president was telling the ministers that they would only retain their offices based on performance, which would be reviewed. And if they're performing, they have nothing to fear. And if they miss the objective, they will review it. And if there's no performance, they will have to leave the cabinet. Do you think that this in any way has propelled these ministers to work harder? And do you also think that if truly some people are defaulting as regards their performance, that they will truly leave the cabinet and move on to other things?
Well, I'm a bit cynical there, but I hope that this new policy of Mr. President will give improved delivery and improved performance, which you and I will benefit from. It's not enough to say they performed well. The masses of the people, the vast majority of Nigerians, must be able to feel their presence. And when you talk about whether they'll be removed or sacked, what has happened to Betty Edu? Not a question of whether she's guilty of any crime or not, but politically, she's dead beat, or dead wood, or whatever the word might be. And she's still there, from that point of view. So we're not saying getting rid of her because she committed a crime, because that's for the courts to decide. But obviously, her being there is a stain, insofar as she has those charges over her head. And then you have to ask questions about the anonymity about many of the ministers. You see that they're performing low-key. Why are we not feeling their impact, from that point of view? Obviously, we have the activist ministers, like the Minister of Power. Anybody that is there will be all over the place. Well, you have the Foreign Affairs Minister, and you begin to wonder, in terms of Nigerian foreign policy, what's Nigerian foreign policy today? What's our doctrine? You understand? We used to have the concentric circles, you understand? We used to have the cornerstone of Nigerian foreign policy, which used to be Africa. So you have to go around the various departments and ministries and see whether they actually have the pass mark. And who is going to decide? Is it Mr. President, or is that going to be a panel? And if it's going to be Mr. President, is he going to favor some people or not?
Mr. President actually said that the buck stops at his desk, and that was exactly the word quoted.
Yes.
And it was reported that in January of this year, there were certain people that were trained at least 140 officials to track and assess the performance of federal ministries, departments, and agencies ahead of this assessment. So I think they're taking it pretty serious.
I hope
what
so.
would you say?
Well, I hope so. You understand, because the seriousness will actually be how we feel their impact. So if 1 year from now or 6 months from now it's still the same old, then of course many people, because the masses actually ultimately will decide. Unfortunately for us as masses, we can only decide after every 4 years. We can't decide before then. So the power is in the hands of Mr. President. But at least I am encouraged that at least there's some kind of monitoring, some kind of evaluation. But we then need feedback. So Mr. President needs to tell us, or his officials, the feedback from the process, so that we actually know where the government is heading towards. So it's a step in the right direction.
All right, Prof, some would say that, speaking of assessment, how about the president? How would you assess, his 1 year in office in terms of, economic reforms, governance policies, and all of that as well?
Many will say that he hasn't really started, because the impact on the masses has been quite horrendous. It's a lot of people really are just barely barely living. Breathing is become very, very difficult. So the policies of the government, whilst some of the policies are very good policies, they have not borne any fruit yet. Okay, it takes some time, but really, you want to look at the cost of fuel. You understand? Subsidy was removed, good. But where is the benefit to the masses? You understand? The increased allocation of the federal government, the increased allocation of the state government and local government, have we felt anything as a result of that? You understand? People, there are rumors that there are warehouses all over the place filled with palliative goods, and nobody, you understand, or very few, not that nobody, are getting it. Who are the people benefiting? Is it the members of the Senate, or the houses of assembly, or the House of Representatives? What of the vast majority of Nigerians? So there will be some people who are benefiting today and this morning who will say this government should have a pass mark. But there will be many people who will say we are not benefiting, so why should we give this government a pass mark, from that point of view? And there will be some who will say it is too early to pass a judgment on this government, therefore they reserve their evaluation from that point of view. At the end of the day, I would just say we just want life to be a little bit better. If life is a little bit better, we will give this government a pass mark.
All right, Prof, let's have you speak on the DHQ calling on the Katsina State Governor, Diko Rada, to substantiate his claims that the military is aiding and profiting from terrorism in the state. He made the allegations on a live television interview recently. Do you think that the governor has, evidence to back up these claims that the military is complicit and profiting from terrorism?
First and foremost, it's a constitutional issue here. The DHQ has no authority, no right, you understand, to question a democratically elected government. The Minister of Defense, of course, will have the right because he's a politician. So I would hope, I haven't read the details, I would hope that it's not the military official himself doing it, and I would hope it's the minister. But of course he has to back up his claim. If he's claiming that the military are complicit or have been involved in shenanigans when it comes to terrorist operations, then he has to back it up. You can't just make such statements because you have immunity for prosecution, from that point of view. And our governors, of course, have to be very responsible with the information that they pass out there. But I doubt if the Katsina State Governor will just be making such wild accusations. For what purpose? After all, it's part of the APC. It's part of the ruling party. So I think what should happen is that behind closed doors, they need to explore this. And if it is indeed true, then people who are responsible need to be dealt with accordingly. It's not something for the newspapers. It is something to be sorted and resolved behind the scene.
You talked about the sensitivity of such claims now. Say those claims are bogus, assuming they are. How does that affect, the military's morale, troops' morale, this time especially?
Of course it will affect their morale, because they're there for president and country. Some will say king and country, but we don't have a king here. For the country, they're there to defend the territorial integrity, and they're sacrificing their lives on a daily basis. And so therefore, such accusations are bound to affect them. They're human beings after all. But they have a job to do, they have a job to perform, and they have to also know that it comes with the terrain. That people will always raise questions, people will always raise doubts, and they just have to keep on going because that's what they've been engaged to do.
All right, let's take a look at Labour. It's this tete-a-tete between Labour and the federal government has been going on for quite a while. On Tuesday, they proposed 54,000 naira, and as at yesterday, they were forced, according to this report, to propose a sum of 57,000 naira after the committee took a 30-minute break to make further deliberations. As well as Labour is saying that they would settle for 497,000 away from the 615,000 that they initially proposed. What's your take on this one? From 54 to 57,000, how long is this going to take? And what figure are they eventually? Are they going to be adding 3,000 naira per meeting? Because when you look at the situation of gathering every time and then the meetings and all of that, it feels like they want to tire them out at this point.
Well, both sides are grandstanding, really, because the 400 and something thousand is not very realistic, and then the 54 doesn't make sense. Even the Edo State government is paying 70,000. So both sides need to get very serious. We need realistic figures. Of course, what the Labour tried to do yesterday was to lay out the cost of living and to do the analysis. And that, of course, made sense. Let the federal government to do their own analysis from that point of view. But you see, the federal government needs to be careful because you have to be a responsible government. We don't want what happened during the dodgy awards. What is the dodgy awards? 1974, they quadrupled the salaries of most people. And that actually led to a lot of inflation. In fact, that was the beginning of inflation in Nigeria. In fact, you wanted to buy a TV, you couldn't get it anymore because people, too much money chasing too few goods. And what we don't want to cause is a run of inflation. I bet you, if they increase the salaries to 400 and something thousand, do you know what the school fees will be? Because people have to pay their workers. Costs of goods and services will also rise. So my own view has always been labor. Why don't you explore things like we used to have before? I've said it again and again. Food vouchers, luncheon vouchers, we used to have those in those days. So you come to work, your salary will still be the same, but they'll give you luncheon vouchers. You might end up not touching it. Petrol vouchers, all those sort of things which will not lead to a run on inflation from that point of view.
Labor says that this is living wage and not minimum wage, and federal government says they will pay minimum wage and not living wage. Labor is saying that if a bag of rice is between 60 to 70,000 naira and a person who is taking home 57,000 cannot afford it, then what's the point of that? So they're saying that they calculated the wage that a person can live on and not minimum wage, and that's what they're going for.
Yes, but the government can't afford it. And the reason why the government can't afford it is because we're busy spending money on buying luxury vehicles for senators. We're busy increasing the budget for the National Assembly. We're busy, increasing the budget for the office of the Chief of Staff and so on and so forth. So our priorities are wrong. So government, of course, have to reorganize priorities. As to living wage, if we go for living wage, the economy, you understand, even if the government's priorities were right, cannot sustain it in that sense. So what my view is, instead of the living wage, go for subsidies, target subsidies at the poor, subsidies on electricity at the poor, subsidies on even on feeding, you understand, through the luncheon voucher I've suggested.
How much subsidy is enough to go round without the coronavirus situation, the COVID situation of warehouses being stored? Because if you say that there should be vouchers and stuff like that, how do we know, for a country that hasn't had census in years, has no data, how do you know that it gets to the appropriate quarters and everybody is properly offended for? How do you even know the poorest of the poor, who is poor enough to be able to access that voucher? Are we not even all poor enough to access vouchers?
Well, you have the NIN now, and you have the BVN that the government has invested a lot of money in, and they took some humongous amount of money. That's what we were told, to clear up the register. So we have some indication already. And of course, if we allow local governments to work, if we allow them to work, that might be a means and a conduit. Will it get to everybody that should get to know? Recently, you understand, we saw bags of rice, bagged federal government and so on and so forth. And we know how those things were distributed. They didn't necessarily go to the poor. They went first and foremost to the elite, and through the elite went to the poor. There must be a direct way in which these things can get to. But I agree that it's going to be problematic. But it would be more problematic if you have a run of inflation, where school fees, which was 200,000, suddenly becomes 1 million for everybody. That would be more problematic, from that point of view. So I think the government really carefully has to think this through. Should the salaries be increased? Yes. But should it go the way of labor that I say, no, they should find some other incentive. If people are taking care of your accommodation, if people are taking care of your transport, CNGs and so on and so forth, subsidy, if people are taking care of aspects of your feeding, you then discover that the money that you earn, you understand, you may not even have to spend most of it.
All right, very quickly, Prof, we have commercials in a moment, but I'd like us to touch on this. Justices of the Court of Appeal and other judicial officers have recommended that election disputes should be resolved before the elected officials assume office. There were a bunch of other recommendations as well. What do you make of these recommendations, if you have actually gone through them? Do you see some of the suggested reforms restoring public confidence in the judiciary, in the electoral process and all that?
Now, Kenny, the number one, which we've argued about on this studio before and in other studios and news houses, is that it doesn't make sense, you understand, not to resolve electoral disputes before the person is sworn in. In anywhere in the world, do you think that President Tinubu would have got there and then Supreme Court will come and say, oh no, you're no longer the president? Somebody will say, already exercising the imperatives and the prerogatives of the office. It's very unlikely. So we must find a way to ensure that these disputes are resolved, and I'm sure that confidence will return in bag loads from that point of view. I haven't seen all the other details, but I would be one of those who will say, let's find a way to resolve this dispute. And I would also argue, you understand, that remove the Supreme Court from it. You understand, there's some disputes that go to the Supreme Court that need not. Let them be resolved, at the level of the Court of Appeal from that point of view.
All right, we have to go on a commercial. When we return, we'll open the phone lines to take your reactions. Do stay with us.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Get in on the action with Betano, your exciting destination for sports betting. Enjoy an award-winning experience with amazing betting options, cash outs and missions, as well as other features. Join now and get a welcome bonus of up to 200,000 naira. Betano.ng, the game starts now.
Àbẹ́ ò rí nǹkan ẹ̀bùn pàtàkì látọ̀dọ̀ Ọlọ́run lọ́mọ jẹ́ fáwọn òbí tómi ọyàn sì jẹ́ ẹ̀bùn Ọlọ́run fáwọn ọmọ. Ó ní gbogbo èròjà aṣara lóore pẹ̀lú omi tọ́mọ rẹ nílò. Fún oṣù 6 àkọ́kọ́ máa fọ́mọ rẹ ní ọyàn nìkan. Rántí o, omi ọyàn nìkan fún oṣù 6 àkọ́kọ́. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ INT'L, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Hey folks, ready to take your smartphone experience to the next level? Introducing the 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐿 and 𝐵6 series, 2 amazing smartphones that redefine innovation. With the 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐿, capture every moment in stunning detail with its advanced Sony sensor camera. Say goodbye to blurry photos and hello to crystal clear images. And for all the gamers, engage yourself in an immersive gaming experience with the 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐍𝐿 series, featuring super sensory gaming technology and a 70 watts ultra charge. Every game comes to life and you get to play for much longer. Visit an authorized Techno store to get any 𝐓𝐇𝐀𝐿 or 𝐓𝐇𝐀 series today and experience innovation right in your hands. Techno, stop at nothing.
We fit protect your car, your savings.
Abeg you, make you no let her dey boring. Make we make insurance we lifestyle. You don't even hungry, you say make your insurance give you pass wetin you dey collect. Make you no shake body at all because na good hands you dey with Health Insurance Group. Come even join with boku insurance coverage. You fit also enjoy free awoof like chance to fit network up to 10% discount for hotels, gyms, spas and for that your store where you like to dey shop. Tickets to enter show events plus free materials to carry plan your tomorrow. So next time when person ask you wetin your insurance company dey give you sef, your answer supposed to be with Health Insurance Group. Of course, it plenty pass just insurance.
To follow Choplet all these, sign up on www.healthinsurancegroup.com. That na HEIRS. Here's Insurance Group. Simple life dey here.
Báàjẹ́ 24, 29 tàbí 32 ṣáà ti fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kàn tẹ 32 FM 949 fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
Golden Chance Lotto. Shey you dey gbadun games? Shey you dey play Lotto? Shey you go like to play Lotto without stressing? You no go go kiosks. You fit no even play online. Make you no worry for data. Golden Chance Lotto dey here for you. Make you dial *7005# with your MTN line for any phone to play and win big. You fit even check games results and you go collect wetin you win with the USSD. Play any of Golden Chance Lotto indoor games and international games. No forget, our indoor games dey easy to win. Golden Chance Lotto don give you a better way to become a millionaire. No forget, *7005#. Golden Chance Lotto, your surest way to become a millionaire.
Láti dènà àrùn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru àti àrùn mìíràn, pàápàá nínú àwọn ọmọdé, fọ ọwọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú ọṣẹ àtomi tó ń dà ṣooro. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, tó o bá lo ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ tán lẹ́yìn tó bá ti ṣàǹdí fọ́mọ tán kó o tó ṣe oúnjẹ ọmọ rẹ tàbí kó o tó fún un lóúnjẹ. Àti pé o, tí ọmọ rẹ bá ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru, fún un ní oògùn oníwóró zinc lẹ́ẹ̀kan lójúmọ́ àti ORS ní wákàtí mẹ́rin tàbí kí ẹ máa fún díẹ̀díẹ̀ nínú ife. Èyí á jẹ́ kọ́mọ rẹ lè ní ìdápadà omi ara àtokun. Bákan náà, yọjú sílé iṣẹ́ ètò ìlera tó bá súnmọ́ ọ jùlọ láti gba ìtọ́jú fọ́mọ tó ní àìsàn ìgbẹ́ gbuuru. Ìkéde yìí wá láti àkọ́ṣeṣẹ́ INT'L, iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Thank you for staying tuned to the Break It Down Papers review. We now open the phone lines to take your comments. 0705 50949 or 829 7949 32 FM 94.9. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
DENIKE. Good morning, Kenny. And good morning, Prof, the resource person.
Good morning.
My name is Tony Brown. Well done to you all this morning. Election dispute resolution. Fantastic. Fantastic. That is the way to go. That's a step, good step towards strengthening the democracy. We have to resolve all election issues before inauguration, before swearing in. It's a fantastic one. I hope those who brought in that idea to follow through. Reform program of the federal government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is attracting enormous investment into the Nigerian economy. But how is this investment affecting the living life of Nigerians positively? I want a situation where Nigerian masses will feel the renewal in their day-to-day activities and living conditions. Not just, that this thing is well fine. The government is doing their best, at least for the moment. But let it reflect in the life of the Nigeria, the people, the followers. Let this new hope, this investment, all these things reflect, no matter how. I mean, we are talking about 1 year has gone. So we must be showing that positive trend that Nigerians are feeling the government. And finally, Bank of Industry, BOI, giving out over 400 million naira, if I'm correct, to SMS. On which database? All the processes should be publicized, should be transparent for Nigerians to see. I saw something on the newspaper during the week about some investment, giving out. I mean, why so soon that, such amount of, how was it derived? How was it spread out? Let us be seeing this thing. How it is. Names of, beneficiaries to be publicized. So that Nigeria will not just say, we have given this amount.
Thank you. 705 5949 0829 7949. Okedira Babatumi on Facebook says sending children abroad to acquire education. If you're not financially strong, it may exercise in futility. We have governors in Nigeria paying salaries of university teachers in their states, but did not believe in universities. Hence, their wartime foreign universities siphoning foreign exchange to foreign land. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm from UI. I want the investigation into the statement by the Katsina State Governor to be investigated. Because if you look at the development, if something is not true, something is closer to it. A particular place I talked to you in the state, the bandits have their own, they chase people out of their home and occupy the place. And Nigeria having their way. And I don't understand the situation whereby they are bandits. That's why I don't travel to the north. So you don't know, most of them they are wearing bandits uniform. Where they get it? So some of them should be investigated. I don't understand the kind of question because they are some of our leaders. What the best of the
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5949. 0829 7949. Those are the numbers. Let's have your thoughts. Let's have your comments. Once again, we're live on Facebook. You can drop your comments on Facebook as well. That's 32FM 949 Ibadan on Facebook. Prof, I just spotted this headline. I believe it's from the Daily Post. Governor Fintiri appoints 182 advisors. Enlighten us, Prof. How do these things work? Appointment of advisors. Does the governor really need that many advisors?
Of course it doesn't. And of course it is financial, doesn't make financial sense. It's economic malady. But the governors keep on doing things like that. And that's why they cannot pay minimum wage. That's why they cannot meet the priorities of the people. So all this nonsense has to stop. Why does he need that? Has he not survived the last 1 year without all this special, what do they call them? Special assistants? Or special advisors. All these people are going to have official cars. They're going to have salaries. They're going to have Esther code. It just doesn't make economic sense.
Hello. Hello.
I'm John is my name. Thank you, Professor.
Yes, sir.
I align myself with the reason and conclusion of my brother there, Tony Brown, this one, over conclusion of the lesser matters. And that made me to remind the former late president, Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. His greatest contribution to the policy was not the promise of 7-point agenda, but the electoral reform which he promised. Indeed, it will gradually fade into the journey. He set up the waste report, and they made recommendation that would have raised this country of a letter. Sadly, some of the robust recommendations which you have
was included the subject matter was Jekinstein himself and the National Assembly under PDP cannibalized some of the recommendation, which was election dispute should be finished before swelling in any person. Don't lose on justice, my name. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Prof, you wanted to round off on what you were saying.
Yes, I lost my train of thought there. But anyway.
Let's move on from that. Let's move on from that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Benjamin, calling from Apata. Good morning, bro.
Good morning.
On the issue of assessing Mr. President 1 year in office, I think a better Saudi would have been known from Friday. You'll be talking a year in office by May 29. And as of now, there's nothing I can inform that we have benefited from this present government. Instead, what we have been benefiting is increase in taxes, increase in the price of PMS, high in cost of standard of living, high in prices of goods and items. So there's nothing that I think an average Indian has benefited from this country. So I want it to first say that I wonder what will be outcome in the next coming 3 years that make sure we have or not. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much.
0705 5949 0829 7949.
Okay, remember Batune says new ministers are loading and may be announced post 1 year in office. Politicians have a way to settle themselves. Whenever you have the opportunity, do the needful to better Nigeria. This administration has 1.5 years of governance now. The last 1.5 year will be for politicking to get second term in office and for campaign. Address the issues of refineries, make fuel available at a fair price, crush the prices of commodities, help industries to grow and bring looters to justice. The government can now offer 54,000 naira to workers. It's time for us to go.
All right, thank you very much, Professor Oluwajedokun, for your time this morning. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
And that's where we call it a wrap on the Papers Review this morning. I'm Kenny Drutsilu.
And I am DENIKE Ademuagun. Please keep in mind that the Smart Kids and Parent Hangout is this Saturday, 25th of May, 2024 at 11 a.m. and it is 3,000 naira per child. Please come and bring the children, let them have fun and showcase their talent as well. Yes, you are. Bye for now.